Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Shadowrun. We got a lot of old stuff here. We are about to go do another meet. Our last run did not go very well, entirely my fault. Let a sob story influence me. The guy, I'm out of character. I'm actually glad I did, because I wouldn't have gotten evidence that he was really a bastard like that. But I really should have. I wish I had had the Shadowrunner etiquette, because I definitely would have been able to get it from Mueller, Ubon, and I need at this point to be reliable on the next couple missions. Also, how much money am I looking at? 4,600. Let's see. Is there something I can sell to you? Show me what you've got. No, I want the ballistic cloth suit. In fact, I'm going to want to sell it now. I'm not going to want to sell it now. I'm going to want to wear it now. I don't have a drone, so I'm going to go sell that. That'll work. Okay. Now, equipment. I guess I gotta go to the stash to equip that. This is my run suit. I want my business suit. Oh, right! There's a new DVD. There we go. That should give me quite a bit of charisma. Is currently sitting at 6. Oh, she has a cyber hand now. Load the third DVD. Play track 1. Greenwind 2042-0805. This is an earlier one. I was thinking about Adrian today, not as he was when he disappeared, not as the fabled Dragon Slayer, or the big-time CEO of Deal Defense. I was thinking about when we were kids. Well, I was always more of a kid than he was, of course. He's 15 years older than me. In a way, he was more like a parent than a brother. Winters pauses, his gaze drops to an invisible point on the table in front of him. So I was thinking about this time, when we were on a holiday. Our parents took us out to the island of Pole to enjoy the beach. I must have been about 5 years old, and I'm doing the exact same voice for him I do for him, so I really need to work on my accents if I'm going to keep doing this. I must have been about 5 years old. Adrian was 20. It'd be his last family vacation with us. A year later, he'd begin his meteoric rise to fame and fortune. But on this trip, he was my brother, and when I fell out of the little paddle boats that our parents rented and started sinking fast into the Baltic, he was the one who dove in to rescue me. You saved my life that day, Adrian. I'll love you forever for that, and I will find you. I owe you that much. Track 2, 2049, June 6th. Found an old news article that mentions Adrian from way back in 2036. It was printed in a financial magazine called Das Finanzwesen, one of those chic print-based mags that they produced for the retro crowd. There aren't any clues in here, but it's good to see someone else acknowledge his existence. He clicks an off-screen button and the image of Vinters disappears, replaced by a digital scan of the magazine page. SK Satyr Cooper stock suffers in post-buyout brain drain. In the aftermath of the Dragon Loquewear's hostile takeover of Satyr Schwer Indris. A continuing brain drain of high-level executives is causing ongoing worry among the company's shareholders. The company's stock took a major hit when Loafware deposed former CEO Wilhelmina Graf Benoit last August. 3 months later, long-held power positions within the SKI empire continued to empty as the Dragon consolidates its power base. The most recent casualties of Loafware's takeover include Alexandra Kobayashi, former Chief Officer of Operations of Sater Munitions, Mathis Donner, former Treasurer of Ruhr Datafax, and Werner Harding, former CEO of Deal Defense. Harding stepped into the role to replace Dr. Adrian Vauclair, who disappeared under mysterious circumstances 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's why they had what they had to say about Adrian mere 2 years after his disappearance. My brother. The footnote. While this track does load, it's clearly corrupted. The screen fills a meaningless stream of text. I keep looking at these things of text. I think this is the exact same meaningless stream of text as the last time. While this screen, yep, same. It's the same stream of text. The rattling sound fills the air as the deck grinds in its tray. A few seconds later, the screen fills with text. It's my sad duty to inform Dr. Vauclair. It's my sad duty to inform you that by unanimous vote of the Aufsichtsrat, your position as CEO of Deal Defense will be terminated at the end of this calendar month. Your continued misallocation of company funds to pursue personal agendas cannot and will not be tolerated any longer. The Supervisory Board is not unsympathetic to your mental state. The trauma that you endured during your pursuit of the Dragon Fairschwang must have been enormous. But your continued obsession with the dragon, the dead dragon I might add, has proven a negative influence on this company and an unjustified drain on company resources. The board wishes you all the best in your future endeavors. We have prepared a generous severance package to assist you in this time of transition. If there's anything more we can do to help you, please don't hesitate to ask. Werner Harding. Okay. Now we have a meeting to go to. And see, she now has a cyber agent. Now, in the paper and pencil game, you can have more than one implant in your head. From As you press your way forward through the cozy, smoke-filled confines of Café Sèvres, you catch sight of Frau Müller. She appears, as Amsel described her, an impressive-looking woman of Aztlander descent, with coffee-colored skin and dark... That's not coffee-colored skin. She looks Caucasian in that picture. And dark, wavy hair. Everything about her screams corporate executive. From her expensive-looking suit to her tastefully understated makeup. She's obviously nervous, but she's hiding it well. You have more versatile... She's even look... She even looks white on her in-game thing. You have variants... You have portraits that are variants and give a variety of ethnic appearances. Aztlander are basically Hispanic, if I remember correctly. Maybe she's heavily mixed. Her name is Mueller, but that might be an assumed name. From her expensive-looking suit to her tastefully understated makeup, she's obviously nervous, but she's hiding it well. She locks eyes with you and hesitates only slightly before speaking. Whatevs, I presume? Herr Amsel told me that I could meet you here. He wasn't lying. He said you had a job for me? She holds her silence for a moment and nods. Yes. Yes, I do. In truth, I am in desperate need of your help. Then tell me what you need. Frau Müller. An assumed name. She offers you a small smile. Assumed name, obviously, but I have been told that this is how you people do business. She straightens in her seat. You see, now I wish I had taken etiquette corporate. I took etiquette Shadowrunner. Straightens in her seat and tries on a smile. It hangs there for a second and fades away. She sighs. From my accent, you've no doubt inferred that I'm an Aztlander. I don't know. I should probably be able to do a Spanish accent since I lived in Texas most of my life. I've forgotten. Further, you may have guessed who I work for. You tell me. I'm not in the habit of guessing. As Technology, the only Atlan-based corporation operating in Germany. I've been with the company for over a decade. Over the course of my employment, I've worked on a great many projects. From the innocuous to the obscene, my hands have touched it all. Never once did I question the wisdom of our research. Never once did I consider blowing the whistle on my employers. I kept my nose down, worked hard, and excelled at the tasks set before me. Go on, please. I've been trying to avoid being snarky in the negotiations. Last month I was transferred here from my home in Noshitlan. That'd be Mexico City in real world. That's the old word, the modern day is Mexico City. Old time was Tenochtitlan. And in Shadowrun, they've gone back to the ancient name. They told me that an employee of my caliber was needed in Berlin and that I would be working on a project with wide-reaching applications. The only other detail that I was given was the name of the project, Bloodline. This does not sound good. She looks you in the eye, and for the first time you can see the cracks in her composure. She's doing a good job of hiding it, but deep down this woman is terrified. I've seen many terrible things in my life, whatevs. In Tenochtitlan, blood magic is commonplace. Take a moment to imagine what that means. In the underground markets, people are bought and sold as chattel. Street children are rounded up and bled like lambs. I witnessed all of these things by the age of 12. Takes a deep breath and lets it out slowly. Seeing such things, it changes you, it makes you numb. What I found when I arrived here was worse. This project, it horrifies me, whatevs. It must be stopped. Tell me what you know about Bloodline. She shakes her head. The less you know, the better, for both of us. You'll just have to trust me on that. You need only know that it is evil and that it is not a word, and that is not a word I use lightly. What do you want me to do about it? I want you to bring the building. She leans in and looks you in the eye. I want you to bring the building down. The computers, the research data, the mages and scientists that are working to bring about this abomination. I want all of them burned to ash and buried in rubble. No compromises and no exceptions. I'm sure that you have unanswered questions. I'm not in the habit of dealing with Shadowrunners. In truth, I've spent the majority of my career living in fear of you people. But I do know you're the only ones that who can get this done. So tell me whatevs. Is there anything more that you need to hear from me, or are you ready to make a decision? What about any innocent people in the building? None of us are innocent whatevs, but if you need to solve your conscience, rest assured that at the hour of your approach, the only personnel authorized to be on site will be security and senior members of the research team, and I assure you neither are innocent in this matter. If the Bloodline project reaches completion, nobody will be safe ever again. This sounds like hyperbole, I know, but it isn't. The Bloodline project will lead to countless deaths. I'm certain enough of this to hire you, despite the fact that doing so will probably cost me my own life. How do you expect me to level a building? You don't need to be. You just need to be a competent decker, which I'm told you are. The facility is powered by a number of on-site generators. There are safeguards in place to prevent them from overloading. In the event of a power spike, the system is designed to shut itself down. But I know how you can disable those safeguards. Once the generators begin to overload, you'll have a limited time to reach a safe distance. The explosion will be quite catastrophic. What can you tell me about building security? Expect it to be tight. In addition to their standard security team, As Technology has taken out a knight-errant, high-threat response team contract to protect the building. Corporate doesn't seem to mind contracting a competitor for emergency response services. That should give you some indication as to the uniqueness of this project. At any rate, I believe that I've come up with a solution to the knight-errant problem. I'll discuss the matter with your Herr Emsel if you decide to take the job. Let's talk compensation. It's 36,000 new yen, as I told your Herr Emsel. That's what I have allocated for the job. That's fair. Why couldn't you tell all this to him? Because that's obvious. More or less people who know, the better. I've reached a decision. I'll take the job. In that case, it's a deal. I can't tell you how relieved I am, whatevs. Thank you for helping me to bring this nightmare to an end. I will iron out the remaining details with your Herr Amsel. He'll want to talk this over with you anyway, I'm sure. You're a good woman, whatevs. You are saving more lives than you know. Okay. See, she's holding back secrets, but it's more reasonable. The way the Lodge holds back secrets is just going to get you in trouble. Ooh, Calmy. Hey, pal, I missed you. Got any new stories for me? I was wondering, what stories around here are worth listening to? Well, that's classified information, Chummer. If you stick around here long and a while, you'll figure it out soon enough. In the meantime, a little tip to start you off. I personally like chatting up the old guys. They've always got some great stories. I'm sure they just live just to talk to you. They sure do. One of the guys, Shrotty, he just lights up whenever I come by. He's always got something to say. Well, it's often about the same stuff over and over again. He just needs to tell people about what he's working on. He seems like the kind of guy who could live a hermit's life, but to me it's obvious he needs someone to talk to. Maybe it helps him work. I don't know. There's also Altuk. If you could get him to shut up about his coffee for a minute. He's got a real shtick, doesn't he? It works for him. He had to make some sort of living here in the cruise bazaar, you know. He's not got a trade skill. He's not goblinized, so he couldn't hang with Beckenbauer. If he opened a normal shop, he'd be ousted by someone thinking he's stealing their job because he's not German. The coffee shop was a good option because it's obvious, he stays exotic, and it does what they expect of him. With the intel and stuff. She pulls absentmindedly at some hair in her face. Sorry about the intel, Del. It's not really useful information, and you've probably guessed anyway. At this point, but you asked anyway, so you've been a real doll. Gotten way too much information out of me, though. I'll see you around, ja? Speaking of which, let's talk to people. I should go talk to the talismonger. Welcome, honored effendum. How may I serve you? Just killing time. I'll be going now. You don't need me to talk to you. Okay. I believe... I should talk to the talisman. Seems like everybody in here. Absinthe. Something about the young elf behind the counter makes your breath catch in your chest. She's lovely to look at, but it's a strange kind of beauty. Her eyes are large and luminous and impossibly green, and she looks at you. As she looks at you, you can see that her irises are flecked with iridescent gold. Hello, welcome to Algernon's. Algernon? Perhaps I can help you with something. As she smiles up at you, her eyes fixed on yours, a curious feeling of weightlessness fills your chest. It feels as though you're floating in warm, calm sea. A gentle current pulls you closer to Absinthe, and the sensation is pleasant. As you drift, the golden specks in her eyes begin to move. You look deeper into her eyes. Golden specks in the elf's eyes shift and swirl, slowly picking up speed. It's mesmerizing. All at once, specks explode into light and color. Absinthe's eyes are now fill your field of vision. It feels as if you're drowning in an alien sea. Are you a banshee? The patterns traced by the shimmering specks in her eyes are kaleidoscopic, enchanting, nearly impossible to turn away from. Lose yourself. You are lost. Your entire world has been reduced to a churning vortex of green and gold. Dimly you become aware that something is happening. You feel your body being buffeted by unseen forces. And suddenly, everything goes black. Slowly and painfully, you struggle your way back to consciousness. The shop's owner, Algernon, is peering down at you, expression of concern on his face. Absinthe stands beside him, her expression one of embarrassment. Welcome. It is Algernon! You're the guy from the end of the first game. Welcome back, friend. Algernon extends a hand to help you to your feet. Absinthe shifts slightly to allow you to stand. What was that? What happened? My fault and my apologies. Sometimes when I daydream, I bring others along for the ride. It was unintentional, yes, but there's no harm done now. Correct? You'll be fine. If you excuse me, I'm going to go stand in a corner for a while. Greetings, young dwarf. The elf's voice is smooth as silk and rich as clotted cream. Something about him instantly puts you at ease. I'm Algernon Halfdream, the owner of this establishment, and in my shop you'll find only the finest magical paraphernalia. Now tell me, how may I serve you? I've got a question for you if you don't mind. What's the deal with your assistant? There's something funny about her eyes. Absinthe a friend, nothing more. She helps out around the shop when fancy strikes her. She's nobody's assistant, and I'm no one's master. But her eyes? I believe that they suit her personality. Do you know about the great dragon? What do you know about the Fairschwing? Fairschwing, the Firewing. That is a name that hasn't been heard in some time, over 40 years, I believe. Though I cannot say for certain. Time and I do not get along. You're an immortal elf, aren't you? Elf ponders for a moment, twisting a ring in his hand. She was among the first of the great dragons to awaken, and the first to be killed by meta-humanity. Or so the story goes. You don't buy that? I take nothing at face value. It is one of the secrets of my longevity. History is the version of past events that people have decided to agree upon. Their truth is something else. A great dragon is not like other awakened creatures, whereas a basilisk is nothing more than a Komodo dragon whose genetic structure was mutated by magic's return. A great dragon is a creature of magic, a creature that has seen more than one cycle of the world. This is the 6th. And when a great dragon falls, the sound resonates across time and space. Got it, you're skeptical. So how does the story go? Fairschwing awakened along with Lofweir, Nebelheir, Kaltenstein around the first decade of this century. I'm going to switch his voice around for a moment. Sorry. I know I'm terrible at voices. She was first seen over the Harz Mountains, and after a long flight announcing her presence, she began raining fire on every town and village she came across. Why the attack? Think she was protecting her lair? No one knows. Fairschwing was never engaged in dialogue. German military forces are said to have killed her over the SOX the year she emerged. This after months of fire, devastation, and terror. Her body was never recovered. Whenever I hear the body was never recovered, I immediately think faked her own death. Beware the holovids, my friend. They will rot your brain. Nevertheless, it is possible that Firewing still exists. Dragons are cunning, quite cunning, and a sealed emergency zone is, by very nature, sealed. We cannot know what happens inside with certainty. One must wonder what the effect radiation from a nuclear meltdown might have had on her. You seem like a connected guy. Think any of your magical friends might know more? That is a possibility. The sum of my knowledge is vast, but remains finite. I did hear from one such friend who believed that the leader of the toxic shaman cult, Disciples of Cleansing Fire, is actually Fairschwing trapped in human form. The cult is known for following the dragon totem while also practicing toxic magic. Now, is there anything else you need to know? What kind of magic do you practice? Shamanic? Hermetic? Personally, the true kind, but I sell goods tailored to all traditions. In my shop, we do not discriminate. The true kind? Now, is there anything else you need to know? What's your story? How long have you been in the Cruise Bazaar? Long? I have many stories. Stories of dancing spirits and raging dragons, of unchecked magic and swarming chaos. All of these stories are true. As for the Cruise Bazaar, I have always been here, quietly peddling my wares. It is a safe, simple life, but a good one. Now, is there anything else you need to know? You are also in Seattle. On second thought, I've got to go. Thanks anyway. And that was my timer. See you in a moment. Now, these videos are very small in size, but I still got to check my hard drive space because I have been collecting a large number of these while I'm on vacation. The last time I did a Shadowrun game, I finished the game before I even uploaded a single video. I'm not going to do that in this one. When I get to where I pay off Alice's debt, I am going to pause and go to one of the other ones. Probably one of the ones, like maybe Darkest Dungeon or maybe Agarest. We'll see. By the time you've seen this, by the time you've seen this, because this is really kind of a late one. By the time you see this video, it'll have been in the past. So who knows? Goodbye. See you in the next video.